Hello everyone, welcome back to EduDose. So as we have discussed the part 1 of this chapter in the earlier video, in that video we have studied that what is the importance of carbon, how important carbon is for us and all the living beings, and we have discussed that how much of carbon is present in our earth and how important of the carbon is. So let's discuss some properties of carbon in this chapter, and this is the part 2 of the chapter. And if you haven't watched the first lecture, so you should, because first you should watch the part 1 that will clarify your all conceptual clarities. So let's start without wasting time. So if you want, I will give the link of that part 1 in the description box. So please go and watch if you aren't have watched that. So as we are moving forward, so please subscribe to EduDose as we are doing so much of hard work to provide you such free online education with quality content. And please like and share. If you have any doubt, please comment me below. I'll answer your question within 1 hour. So let's move forward. So the properties of carbon, the basic and the first property of carbon is what? That carbon is a tetravalent. So what does tetravalent mean? So in this lesson, the first property we will discuss in deep, and the last two properties we will discuss in the another part. So the tetravalent, I'll give you just a overview that what does tetravalent mean. So tetravalent means that the valency of carbon is what? 4. So we will discuss that how the carbon gains 4 valency and what is a tetravalent mean in deep in the later class. So let's discuss the second property, that is carbon always forms covalent bonds. So covalent bonds, what does covalent bond mean? So covalent bond means sharing of electrons. That means that carbon always forms sharing bonds. Means the carbon doesn't form ionic bond, it forms that the covalent bonding, means the sharing of electron is going on here between two electrons. That means carbon is saying us that sharing is caring. We will discuss that also in the later class. So let's have an overview of the third property. So the third property is what? Catenation. This is the most important. You can mark it as the very important property of carbon because the self-linking. The catenation means what? Self-combination or self-linking process in which the carbon gets combined with itself only. Means like you have seen that the carbon symbol is what? We put 4 lines before carbon and it's get combined with itself only. This is the very major property and the beneficiary property of carbon for us and for the carbon also. You can see that this is a type of diagram of carbon in which the carbon forms bond with itself only, and we will see the formation of carbon with itself, the self-linking process in deep. The graphite and the diamond are also an example of the catenation only. So we will see that types of examples and the explanation of catenation in the later class. So let's move upon that what is the carbon of tetravalency mean. So carbon is tetravalent. We have an overview of that tetravalent means what? Valency is what? 4. We have already learnt about it in the earlier session. So what does tetravalency mean? We have studied. So let's discuss that how carbon gains the tetravalent or how carbon gains valency 4. So as the atomic number of carbon is what? 4. So let's write it over so that we cannot forget it. So as we have known that the atomic number of carbon is what? 4. So let's draw the diagram also so that we can have a better clarity of that things. We will use contrast color so that we cannot get confused and we will have a better clarity. So as I have drawn the K shell, it will be divided into K and L. So K will have 2 and L will have 4. So let's draw it. So we have drawn the diagram of carbon. You can also draw with me so that you can have some knowledge to draw the diagrams and you will have the conceptual clarity also by drawing your diagrams by your own. So as we know that every atom wants to achieve the 8 electronic configuration arrangement to get stable. Okay, so here we can see that carbon is having in the last valence shell, you can say the last shell is what? Valence shell. So in the last shell we need what? 8 electrons, but here we can see that carbon is having 4 electrons. What does carbon having in the last shell? It is having 4 electrons. So we can see here that carbon wants 4 electrons more to get the 8 electronic configuration. So here we can learn that carbon wants more electrons, that is the number is what? 4 here. So we can see that the valency of carbon will be what? 4. So that's the simple explanation of the property that carbon is tetravalent. You can see in this diagram also that carbon is having the 4 electrons in the last shell, so it will need more 4 electrons to get the 8 electronic configuration so that it can be stable. So as we have discussed that carbon is a tetravalent, so let's discuss that what is the meaning of tetravalent. Why we have named that valency of carbon is what? 4. So why we have named the particular thing tetravalent? So tetra means what? 4 and valent means valency. So the meaning of the word tetravalent means what? 4 valency. That is why we have given the name of the property tetravalency. So tetravalent means 4 valency. So as we have seen that carbon is having 4 valency, so the symbol for carbon for representing that carbon is bonding with 4 atoms, we will give the symbol of carbon, like we will give 4 lines when carbon is bonding, as I have made it the diagram here, that carbon, the symbol of carbon is what? C, and we will give 4 lines to show that carbon is bonding with 4 electrons or 4 atoms. So here you can see the example of carbon is given. The carbon is getting combined with hydrogen, we can see in this given picture. So we can see that carbon is having what? 2 and 4 electrons in the K and L shell respectively, and now you can see that the proton in the carbon is what? 6 and neutron is what? 6. And now you can see that the carbon is bonding with the hydrogen in this picture, like it is giving, the carbon is sharing 1 electron with hydrogen and hydrogen is also sharing 1 electron with carbon. So here you can see the sharing of electron is going on with carbon and hydrogen as well as, and you can see the symbol of carbon is used here to show that 4 hydrogen is combined with 1 carbon. You can see that carbon is bonding 4 hydrogen atoms, so you can see we will write hydrogen in all the 4 lines after. So that's it for today, and so these are some notes for today's class that we have studied. This is all the sum up of that, and you can get these notes from the link given in the description box. And we have also opened a new website called CBSE.Ncert named for your convenience, and it is very benefit for your Ncert Solutions video explanations, and we have given so much of many things like notes, Ncert Solutions, video explanations, and all these things have been given at that website, and the link to that website is also in the description box. So please go through the description box as it is very important for these types of notes and video explanations. So in the next session we will discuss the covalent bonding, what is a covalent bond, how it is going to happen, and why only carbon makes covalent bond. We are going to learn all these things. So please come on the next session as it is very important and you will learn many things. That's it for today, and please subscribe to EduDose as we are doing so much hard work to give you that type of quality content with free education, no paid courses, and all of the free cost. Thank you. Like, share and comment below.